What is the Dream Game? Long story short, it's a motorcycle stunting game combining my two passions, motorcycle stunting and Roblox game development. This game is not driven by people wondering how much profit we can make. It's purely driven to be the best motorcycle game on the platform. So coming up, we have a pretty big day, aka my birthday. It's gonna be on December the 19th, and guys, I think I'm gonna be doing a live stream letting all of you play this game for free, at least for the time I am live. However, that means we need a bit more stuff to do within the game. Obviously, the whole point of this place is not to be the coolest Roblox game. This is just to test the motorcycles. Are they fun to drive? Do they feel satisfying and everything like that? So the first thing I did was added the grass back because it was just feeling too testy of an environment. We need to add terrain in today, which I'm gonna hopefully try to find somebody for. I'm so bad at terrain. I want to add the donation board into this game, just in case anybody else wants to help donate, and then they don't have to jump through both games. This will also let people have something to do other than click the donation board and walk around. So all in all, this should be a W. We have this wide open space, which I need to figure out what I want to do with, and we need to add some terrain, trees, rocks, bushes, etc. Now there is good news and bad news about today's build. The bad news is I am pretty horrible at terrain. In fact, I'm so bad at terrain, I hired somebody else to do it on this map. The good news is since it's a co-existent thing to the Dream Game, we can use assets from the Dream Game. So I'm gonna grab a few different trees, some shrubs, just a bunch of stuff to make it look good. All right, bros, here is my idea. We have a bunch of mesh mountains, and then I have a plugin that I can use to convert said mesh into terrain. So if we just load from mesh, and then we can click grass, and we don't want it to be filled at all, then we click generate. However, this terrain plugin, it doesn't seem like it really works that well. So, well, it works, but you have to do this. You then close the plugin and delete whatever you were working on. And then if you want to use the plugin again, you have to disable it, re-enable it, and then you can click the next thing and do the same thing again. Click the settings you wanted, grass, air, and generate. This was the fastest workflow I have found. And after this, we'll be able to take the brushes to paint, smooth, etc. I find it'll be a lot easier to make terrain if I have a base to start with, instead of having to just kind of sculpt it myself. It already looks so much better with some green around it. I also need to remove the checkerboard on the ground. I love it for the idea of it being a test place. However, when you get going pretty good, it kind of gives you a headache. Like, these squares just fly away too fast, and it's not the greatest. So I'm gonna get the rest of these mountains done, and then we have some props from the Dream Game and some lights that I can start spreading around. Then we'll need to find a spot for the donation board, and everything should start coming together rather quickly. All right, fellas, all of the mountains are done. Now we can go to our editor tools, edit, I believe it is sculpt, and we're gonna wanna add on parts like this that don't quite cover up the map. We just want to make sure that there's no like awkward gaps where players can fall out of the map. If they can, it's no big deal. We've got it scripted to where you'll just teleport back. And by we have it scripted, I mean Panda has it scripted. That's definitely not my skill set. Anyways, looking around, making sure we have a nice box for people to do wheelies in. And I would say overall, it's looking like we don't really have many spots we missed. I think I'm gonna bring in how the plaza looks in the actual Dream Game. We have this, and I believe it's concrete, maybe asphalt, definitely concrete. And this is where I'm gonna put the donation center at, somewhere about like this. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to that grass. There we go. And let's copy over the donation center stuff. All right, guys, I just copied over our donation spot, and I added in some cool smoke particles as well as some lighting over here just to help everybody see it when it comes to nighttime. Now, some other cool stuff we're doing. We're gonna have a day-night cycle. This game, it originally started to just be a test place for the actual game, and now it is turning more into a full game in its own right. However, if people like it and they want me to keep it up, I think I definitely could. I think we'll have these lights maybe 20 studs apart. Ooh, 40, 50, 80, 100, 120. All right, we're doing 120 studs apart. I don't have too many lights. I did put a tag in all of their spotlights, so when we add a day-night cycle, the lights will come on at nighttime, and that should be so cool, man. I am gonna try to find somebody to help me with the terrain because I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. It's a good base, but that's about it. All right, we're gonna try to line these lights up a little bit better. I'm thinking we'll center them with our plaza, so you can just walk right in or ride right in if you wanted to. In fact, we should probably make a little ramp up to this. That should work well for everybody. This might be a little bit too much light, so I am going to delete these ones, and I'm just going to paste all of these lights on the other side as well. Pretty much wherever there's a curb, we're going to put some lights. I'm still not sure what I'm doing with this whole open side. It is nice to be able to just learn how the bikes work before getting bombarded with all of these ramps. But I also feel like there's going to be a lot of people who want to try out the ramps. So we kind of just got to play it by ear. There we go. Some nice lights over here as well. Maybe I'll put one over here just because why not? And then we'll toss one on the way other side. If there's a curb, I don't even think there is. Right here it goes. Oh yeah, that's definitely at least livening everything up a lot. This ring of fire is so sick. It needs to go higher though, because I kept absolutely flying over it. So that is looking good. We have all of these assets that we're going to be able to paste around the terrain. The only problem is I'm so bad with terrain. Like, I think all the flat stuff I can make look pretty nice. But when it comes to like this border, nah, not my skill set at all. I guess let's go ahead and start pasting some of this stuff down. We are going to use the good and trusty brush tool because it's just so nice, man. Let's grab just all the trees, I guess, or we'll start with the big two. Random, no wobble, activate brush, and we're just going to click just maybe one time or two times on each side. These are the bigger trees, so they take up a lot of area. That is why we are not going crazy with them. They're just a nice addition. I would say we could be done with those trees already, so we'll delete them, and then we'll grab the smaller two trees, add those into our plugin, and we'll click a little bit more. We're gonna have our spacing up a little higher, so we hopefully don't get duplicates like we just did. Oh my gosh, man. Trees bring so much life to an environment. Like, this was looking good, or at least I thought it was looking good, and now look at us. We're actually getting somewhere. It might be nice to use half of this to show off, like, some of the city buildings, actually. Because at the end of the day, this game is nothing more than a promotional piece for the main game. At least in my opinion. We're definitely going to put a part of the city stuff over here. Let's get rid of those trees. We can now add in some rocks, add a brush, and once again, we're just going to kind of paste a couple down. I don't think the rocks are too important. It's just so people feel like there's decoration. The flowers are most definitely important though. Let's add all this at once and just go to town. We need some good colorful flowers over here, man. There we go. Maybe some on this side too. It's just gotta feel real nice in the donation zone. I'm honestly just slowly scrolling and clicking. It's working out pretty well so far. I can't lie. Perfect. This is really starting to come together, bros. I have no idea what I'm gonna do next. So let me kind of recalculate. Oh yes, I know exactly what I'm gonna do next. Let me go grab like a part of the city. Guys, I gotta say a couple things. First off, oh my gosh, this place is really starting to come along, and you're gonna see even more when I hit play. Secondly, I brought in some of the buildings from the Dream game, and they're just not gonna fit in the current environment. What is that? Oh my gosh, it's a whole ramp. So these buildings are not gonna fit in the current environment, so I've changed up the idea a little bit. I'm gonna 3D model a billboard and then take some of my favorite screenshots from the Dream game and place them around this map. Once again, this whole game is a promotional piece for the Dream game. So you guys can have some fun riding the bikes, and we can hopefully get some more funding as well. This Ring of Fire, man, I can't get over it. It's so sick. Now let me show you guys some of the things that we've been adding to make this place a little more fun on the scripting side. When we first join in, the first thing you are going to notice is the wind lines now in the game. It just really livens the place up. The second thing you are going to notice, possibly, is our new day-night cycle. As you can see, the sun is rising now, and it will set later. When the sun sets, all of the lights will turn on, and it's gonna be a pretty good time. The next thing we added is a VFX. We had sound effects, but we added a bit of a VFX when you hit a boost pad. Check this out. Boom! Your exhaust shoots out flames and some speed sauce comes out of your back. Everything is starting to look really, really cool. Let me go model those billboards and get some screenshots. All right, guys, so I just got the billboards done and they are looking pretty nice. The whole goal is just to show people what's up with the Dream Game and what they're gonna be like able to see when it comes out. The lighting does get a bit weird when it's directed towards the sun, so that's something I'm gonna have to kind of look into. And I think I need to turn off cast shadow. Yeah, definitely helps out the picture a lot. Now, I've only got 2 pictures for now, but I'll be sure to get some more before the big stream on the 19th. For now, though, this is looking good. The testing place is becoming, it's becoming its own entity. It's so good, and it just keeps getting better every time I go on it. But hey, man, look at this. So hopefully you are all here for the live stream on December the 19th, where all of us are gonna be able to play the game together anyways. Let's hop into our 3 questions for today. The first question is, will the bikes break/wear? Like, after a while of using the bikes, do you need to repair specific parts? For example, if you drive too much, the wheels need to be changed, etc. The answer is yes and no. Yes, of course we plan to have some cooler mechanics like this later on in the game's life cycle, after we get the core gameplay out and people are enjoying what they're doing, but it's not gonna be here during like alpha, and probably won't be here during beta. The main priority right now is a fully functioning, very satisfying bike system. But the game, like there's literally never an end to the game. So many ideas, nothing is impossible, and we're gonna try to listen to the community as much as we can. Question number 2, what happened to the 100-player build challenge? You probably already answered that question before, but I've been on hiatus, off everything until a week ago. I'll tell you exactly what happened, man. It is so hard to get 100 people that all actually want to try to build something. Usually when I would host one of those challenges, it was 3 people trying to grief the whole thing so we couldn't make a cool video, and 50 people making a tree out of 2 blocks. There's never really anything too impressive, and I don't have a great way to sort of vet people before making the video. However, I do want to bring that series back. I just want to figure out how I can bring it back better. The last question for today, will the Capture the Flag game ever become playable to us? I'd so when. Yes, it will become playable. It is sort of still a side project, guys. The Dream Game and this testing place is my full priority right now, but I kind of like to break it up sometimes to try to avoid burnout. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yes, it will come out, it will be playable in due time.